Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and this is the morning show, 11th of August, 2022. Yesterday, when we left the market, it was fantastic. Things were looking really good. So today, let's see where we are, because we still have a few critical points on various charts that we need to cross. Let's check out what's happening in the market. Hi, welcome back. The first thing I would like to talk about is about the inflation. We just had a quick review of the inflation report when it came yesterday, but I had a little more time to think about it. I just want to explain a couple of points here from my point of view so that you could give me your opinion on that. So let's just go to the inflation table. So here we are in the inflation table at bls.gov. As you can see here, let me look at the food at home column for July. So it was up 1.3%, and food away from home was up 1.3% compared to 1% last month, and food at home was up 1.1% as compared to 1% last month. So we have seen a bit of increase out here, but when we go and look at energy, we have got a drop of 7.6% when it comes to all types of gasoline, and fuel oil is down minus 7.7%, whereas in the previous month they were up 10.4 and 11.2% respectively. So this is a huge drop, and the huge drop is directly reflected in case of if you look at the transportation services, you find it has dropped minus 0.05, minus 0.5 as compared to up to 0.1 last month. And the same way, if you were to look at used car and trucks, the price has dropped down minus 0.4% as compared to 1.6% in the preceding month. So some areas have seen immediate effect from fuel price drop, but there are other areas which have not felt an immediate drop in the prices. Those are food at home and food away from home, as well as you got the medical care and those items are likely to show some response after a while, because it takes a little while for the gasoline prices to percolate into all parts of the economy, also when it's going up as well as when it's going down. So I'm expecting next month we'll have better reading for food at home and food away from home, as well as medical care and commodities, and also we'll have even better reading when it comes to transportation. So overall, I think we have turned the corner, and things should get better unless we have any other new contingencies. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about inflation. And now let's go and have a look at what's happened in the shares. The shares of Disney jumped up more than 6% in after-hours trading yesterday, because Disney said that its subscribers rose 152.1 million during the fiscal third quarter, topping expectations. Meanwhile, retailer Warby Parker this morning cut their financial forecast for the year after it reported a narrower than expected loss in its fiscal second quarter. We need to watch this carefully, because I am thinking that even though they have predicted weaker quarters ahead, they will surprise us, because as I mentioned in my earlier segment, the gas price drop is yet to reflect downstream into the economy, and that will start happening from the following month onwards. So I think they should be slightly better. They would come up better than expected when they report the next quarter. That said, the July producer price index data is also slated for release today, and it can change the market sentiment. So we have to look forward to that. Well, here we are with the Nasdaq futures. We are in TradingView platform. And when I look at the Nasdaq futures in this chart, which has got a one-day candle, each of these candles is a one-day candle. You can see yesterday we had a major spike, which was something similar to what we had on 3rd of August. So post 3rd of August, we did come down. So today, I think we may still remain green, but if we were to follow the same pattern, we'll have 3 days of drops after this, 3 days of going up and 3 days of coming down. That's what we have had in the last couple of weeks. So maybe there is a possibility that it may happen again. And there are some reasons why that could happen, because as we grow closer to being overbought on the RSI, we have a tendency to move sidewards. But that doesn't look to be the case for Nasdaq future, so I'm expecting it to continue to be strong. Right now it's up 0.21%, so it's marginally positive. I'll consider that as a wash because it can go away anytime. Now let's look at what the indicators are telling us. Let's start off with US oil. US oil is up today and we are moving towards the resistance of the bear channel. So I would expect us to hit the bear channel today and come back down again. And when we come down again, 91.70 is going to become a level of support and we'll have to further come down. So it's going to be tricky for the next couple of days. And once we hit this resistance and start coming down again, like we have done in the past, it would be a good situation to be in. That said, let's look at QQQ. QQQ is up 2.79% as of yesterday. This morning it's up 0.25%, so that's a good start. We are now above this diagonal line of resistance of the bear channel, so I'm going to mark this into a bullish line of support for us going forward. We have very strong support out here as the days go by because there's the intersection of multiple lines of support. So that would look good. And we have broken up above the bullish pennant. As I mentioned earlier, this is a bullish pennant and typically we are supposed to move out. So we have moved out, and today we are already up 0.17% before market, but it's a very small lead at this point of time. It's around 7:22 a.m. when I'm doing this recording. So anything can happen between now and market open. But I'll consider this to be positive for today because I have still got plenty of room out here for the RSI to become overbought, and the momentum is pretty strong. MACD is also bullish. So I'm thinking that we are going to be able to move up further ahead. Now, if we were to look at this horizontal line of resistance out here, we can see that it has blocked 3 times any further raise beyond that point. So I'll consider this to be a minor point of resistance, and it is sitting at 330.05. So we need to cross 330.05 to make further gains. And on our way down, we still have support from this diagonal line of support out here, and then by the support line of the bullish pennant below that, and finally by the bullish line of support, which is this diagonal green line. So there is plenty of lines of support for us for QQQ. So the chart is looking pretty good to me. So we should have some more gains today, but be careful towards the end of the day, I would suggest, because that's when profit taking temptation might come in, because we have risen very sharply and very quickly. And on the wake of our rise, we are leaving a lot of gaps. Like this is the chart for S&P 500. Each candle is a one-day candle. We are leaving plenty of space out here. Leaving spaces is something which is suggestive of unsystematic movement in the market price. And it's always covered up by a movement back down to cover the place if it has gone up. So I am suspecting that there should be some efforts to come back down here for S&P 500, which is going to find support at 415.60, which is from yesterday. So I'm going to color that into green. And pre-market, we are up 0.29%. So we are above where we closed yesterday. So that's a positive. We also have a little bit of room before the RSI becomes overbought. So all indicators seem to tell me that potentially the day is going to start green, it will go up further. But then towards the end of the day, we have to be extremely careful because there might be a tendency for some components of the index to be overbought, and therefore they may drop in price or move sideways. So there is that possibility always. So be careful. And let's look at Russell Index, IWM. IWM is also on a very steep rise. I would have been comfortable if it was rising on a 45-degree angle, but it's going much steeper. And also it has come to the overbought status. So therefore, we have to be very careful with IWM because it's likely to move sideways and down. And it's more likely to lose some value by the end of the day, in my personal opinion. Again, this is not financial advice. This is how I look at the charts. You can do your own analysis and decide what you think about it. So that said, let me look at Dow Jones Industrial Average. Dow Jones still has got a little bit of space to move up before it becomes overbought. And right now it's up 0.41%, looking pretty good on the charts. And our next resistance is at 341.37. Plenty of space before being overbought, and also MACD is bullish. So I'm looking at Dow Jones in a very positive light. VIX has come down, and it's presently at 19.95. So I think this the beginning of a good spot for swing trading and day trading. So I would start looking at some opportunities for us today. We are still at a very low momentum, so it seems that with the MACD being bearish, the direction for weeks to go is down. But then we are coming to this major support out here at 19.75, and this particular support could actually push us up, and we have a resistance at this point of time in this horizontal line of resistance at 21.20. So that could be our resistance, and also the bottom of this bull channel, which is this diagonal green line that I'm going to mark into red right now. That's also going to give us resistance. So I'm looking forward to VIX falling further today. I want it to break below the 19.96. In that case, we'll slowly enter into a very placid area where it will be easy to make profits with swing trading and day trading. That said, let us look at put call ratio. It's slightly bullish this morning. XLY by XLP shows a risk on situation as of yesterday, and I'm thinking today we are going to extend the risk on situation, but at the end of the day I expect this to look slightly like a thin green doji or a slightly red candle. That's what I'm expecting for XLY by XLP. US dollar index is continuing to fall, and that's a good sign for us, and also the charts are very weak, so more fall is on the card. And I have added a new index out here, that is the Russell by SPY. So here we are trying to measure whether the small business is doing better than S&P 500, which is the bigger businesses. The smaller business always shows much more speed of picking up with the market. So it's a leading indicator in my opinion. And when I look at this out here, you can see these green candles. Whenever there's a green candle, that shows that the small business is doing better than the big business. And as this chart continues going up, that means we are in a much stronger bull market. That's how I would interpret this chart. And today it's looking good, and there's plenty of space to be overbought out here, and the MACD is also bullish here. So overall, if I look at many other aspects, I think it looks like a good day today. At least the morning is going to be bullish when it opens, unless we have some unforeseen earnings report or some unforeseen economic data coming up. I think it's going to be good start for the day, at least up to 9:30 a.m. and then we'll see what happens. But there's a distinct possibility that towards the end there might be profit taking, and we may end up with a thin doji candle today. So beware of that possibility. That's what I would say. That's my opinion. Now let's look at the index movers, and when I look at the index movers, the first one is Amazon, and as you can see, Amazon has left a big gap out here. And in charts, these kind of gaps are very unhealthy, so there is a good chance that it will have to come down to fill this gap. So those of you who missed out on Amazon can always get an opportunity to buy it before it hits the diagonal line of support here. Will it happen today? I don't know, but technicals say that it's possible to happen anytime now. That said, let us look at Apple. Apple also has got gaps. It has got a gap out here. It has got another gap out here. So this kind of gappy upward movement is not good. Likewise, gappy downward movement is also not good. So the shares typically come back to cover the gaps. So there is a good opportunity for Apple to do that while staying within this bull channel. If it comes down in the next couple of days to dip out here, cover the gap, and then move back up again. So that's a possibility I cannot overrule. But right now it's looking good. But the RSI being overbought is what makes me feel that we may have a bit of sideways and downward movement in Apple. It's up 0.12 pre-market, and it's around 7:31 a.m. right now. And if I look at Microsoft, Microsoft has got plenty of room in the RSI. It can move further, but again, it has given a huge gap out here. These kind of gap up movements are really bad, as I mentioned. So we may have a possibility that today we may come down, fill up this gap, and then go up again. So that's always a possibility. So that's what I have here. And I think we spoke about Google. Google is still got plenty of room on the RSI to go up. MACD is also bullish. And it again has a big gap out here which needs to be filled up. But it has crossed this resistance. So I'm going to mark the resistance as support. And we have a new support here again on 119.55. So that will help Google stock today. But these gaps are not healthy. So our growth is a little bit tentative, so we have to be careful. That's what I would say. Let's look quickly at crypto. Coinbase is up 3.19% this morning. after being up 7.37 yesterday. So that's a positive move. I'm going to convert this minor line of resistance into minor line of support, and we still have RSI which can be overbought. So there's plenty of room for coin to go ahead further. Bitcoin is also doing well, and Bitcoin is going to mirror Nasdaq. So if Nasdaq starts going down, expect this Bitcoin also to go down. We are still on a bullish channel for Bitcoin. So I'm happy with the way it is. Plenty of room on the RSI to be overbought. MACD is also bullish. So with that said, I'm just going to move over to commodities. Wheat is up marginally, and it's up 0.75%. Not good for the inflation scene. Copper is up again, so it shows strength in the economy. So that's okay by my books, which is still not too expensive. Let's go on to genomics and do a bit of sorting out here to get the biggest winner from yesterday. Invite is up 276.86% post earnings results, so it's done really well. And today pre-market it's down minus 18.54%. So that's a big drop out here, and it's bound to happen because there will be people taking profit after such a steep rise. And also you can see the RSI is overbought, and they overperformed when it came to earnings per share, but the revenue was disappointment. It came in 0.16% below expectations. So that's what we had there, and this is a very steep rise. So I'll definitely mark all of these resistance line as supports, but expect to lose value on Invite today because there has been a knee-jerk reaction, and our first support is going to come at 6.15. And if I was to reintroduce all my exponential moving averages, we need to come back closer to some of these exponential moving averages before we can consolidate. So it's a very sharp move. Expect a bit of consolidation and downward price movement today for Invite. PSEB is up 15.47%. Pre-market it's up 0.13%. It's looking good on the charts, but momentum shows that RSI is overbought. We need to cool down a little bit, so I expect a little bit of giving of profits today, but the 100-day exponential moving average should still give us good support. Caribou Biosciences was up 14.25% yesterday, and it has jumped back into the diagonal line of support of the previous bull channel, so I'm going to mark it as a support. And we have our resistance coming up at 10.04. We have support from all the exponential moving average except the 200, and we are very close to being overbought. So I'll be happy if we end the day just somewhere around 930, 9.30 USD, and stay above this diagonal line of support. Pre-market there is no trade out here. Verb was up 12.62% yesterday, continuing to do very well, and 29.72 has been converted into a support out here, and also the 200-day exponential moving average is a support. Our next resistance is at 33.69. We still have space before we can be overbought, so I'd expect a little bit of positive from Verb today before it becomes overbought. No trades pre-market for Verb. Intelia is up 10.15% yesterday, and it could not break through this diagonal line of resistance which is out here from the previous bull channel, and that's going to be the resistance going forward. It's a very strong resistance today because we have the 200-day exponential moving average crossing over it and giving it support. The MACD is bearish and the momentum is still above average and pushing up. No trades pre-market, so I'd expect Intelia to put on a little more value today and continue to find support in this diagonal line of support here from the support line of the earlier bullish pennant. Let us look at Bluebird. Bluebird is up 7.82% as of yesterday, and it's forming a pennant on an upward trend, and therefore it's going to be positive in my opinion. And you know how these bullish pennants work. Put a support line out here. So this is what this is the resistance line that we have here. So today I would expect us to try and break through this bullish pennant and upward, and then challenge the resistance at 6.44. Pre-market we are already up 1.85%. So this is going to be the key challenge for us today, this diagonal line of resistance, and our resistance here is at 6.18 today. So if we cross 6.18 today, that would be the best case outcome for today. MACD is bullish, momentum also is very strong. Plenty of room before being overbought. Look forward to good things for Bluebird. Next, I'm looking at Beam. Beam is up 7.82% as of yesterday. Pre-market, it's still flat and still on the diagonal line of support, so I'm very happy for it. And also this horizontal line of resistance has been converted into a support, and this support is at 65.12 for today. Still plenty of room before we become overbought. So critical for Beam to just break through and continue to make this horizontal line of 65.12 into a confirmed support. That said, let's look at Allergen, which was up 7.78% yesterday. And pre-market, there are no trades today. We are very close to being overbought. So today, expect to open green. And after maybe around 9:30, we may see a bit of drop or consolidation on Allergen as it tries to come back and cool down on the RSI before it proceeds any further. That said, let's look at ARCG, which is up 7.05% as of yesterday, still firmly above this diagonal line of support. For those of you who are looking at it from a smaller device, I just thickened this line so that you can see it clearly. Today, we have no trades pre-market, and if we open where we closed yesterday, we'll still be pre-market above this diagonal line of support. And I'm thinking that there's plenty of room for the RSI to go before it becomes overbought, and MACD is also bullish. Momentum is above average and picking up. So I think ARCG should do well today. And when we look at Teladoc, it was up 6.72% yesterday, and pre-market today it's up 0.95%. We are still above this diagonal line of above this horizontal line of support out here, and this diagonal line of support from the previous bull channel continues to be a resistance for us, and it's become even more formidable today because it is corresponding with the 100-day exponential moving average. So there is no way we can go all the way up there today because we have potential resistance from the 50-day and the 20-day and the 9-day exponential moving average. They're all constraining the price action today, and our price is just trying to break out above. The momentum is trying to break out above average out here, and it's pointed in the right direction. And pre-market we are up 0.95. So I'm thinking that today we may try to break through the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. And if that happens, that will be a positive outcome for today. And let's go and look at Illumina. Illumina was up 5.82% yesterday, no trades pre-market, and it's still above the diagonal line of support. So I'll consider that to be a positive for us today. Plenty of room for the RSI to be overbought, and MACD is also bullish. So I'll expect us to continue moving upward today. And I'm going to just drag this line of resistance from there forward. And I would say that we have this line of resistance out here, a minor resistance at 230.32. I think, yeah, 230.32. So that's our ultimate limit for the day. CRISPR Therapeutics is up 4.98%. It's still on a bullish channel, so I'm happy about that. But this line of resistance on the top of it, which is sitting at 79.51, is going to be a constraint for us today. The momentum is looking good. MACD is also moving towards the signal line, but pre-market we are down minus 0.09%. So if the overall market sentiment is positive, I think we are going to put on a little bit positive on CRISPR Therapeutics before we go flat or down by the close of the market. And we have the support from this diagonal line of support out here. So I would think that our bottom line today is 76.79. We won't fall below that. So that said, let's go to IDNA, which is up 4.69% as of yesterday, but no trades today. It has got the support from the 9-day exponential moving average, and the 200-day exponential moving average is our next resistance. That's what we have to look forward to. Regeneron is up 3.11 as of yesterday, 3.11%. And today pre-market, there are no trades. There is still more space before become overbought in the RSI. Also, MACD is bullish. And our next resistance is going to be at 655.39. So I would expect us to put on a little more today on Regeneron before it decides to come down when we overshoot the RSI and become overbought. Editas is up 3.11%, still on a bull channel. I'm happy about that. Still having support from 18.20. Pre-market, there are no trades. MACD is also bullish, and momentum is also pointed in the right direction and above average. I think Editas will put on some value today before it gives up some towards the end of the day. SQZ was up 1.82 yesterday, no trades pre-market. Yesterday was a doji candle sitting firmly on the 9-day and the 50-day exponential moving average. Still plenty of room before RSI becomes overbought, and MACD is also looking bullish. So I think there is going to be some more positive for SQZ Biotech before it gives up any price action before end of the day. So it's going to go up a little bit in the morning and give up some gains towards the end of the day. That's my opinion. Novartis is up 0.32% as of yesterday, and after opening up very high, it came down. But still, it closed above day before's closing, so I'm happy about that. But pre-market, it's down minus 1.41%, and it has got support from the 200-day exponential moving average. MACD is bullish, plenty of room before it can become overbought. So I'm really confident Novartis should go up today, even though it's showing a bit of negative in the morning. DNA, that is Ginkgo Bioworks, is up 0.64% this morning in the pre-market trades. MACD is bullish, momentum is above average but flat. So momentum needs to pick up for it to be able to challenge our next resistance, which is at 3.20. Right now we are at 3.15, so we can see at least the upside of 5 cents before moving sideways or down. That's what I would expect for DNA. Vertex Therapeutics is down 1.02% as of yesterday, and pre-market there are no trades. Vertex is still looking strong on the charts. It may still give a lot of value and continue to stay in a bull channel because it has overshot and it's got a steep raise in the last 3 days. So expect a little bit of consolidation and sideways movement. So let's look at the case of IMTX. IMTX was on a steep bullish channel, which was a non-sustainable. So I'm going to just adjust the bullish channel out here. I'm going to bring it down here. And ideally, I would like to keep it along with the 20-day exponential moving average out here and call this as the new potential bullish channel, because we need to consolidate a little bit after having such a steep rise. Our MACD was overbought for quite a few days. And then we had the earnings result. Now the earnings result came out very bad. IMTX reported 15 cents more of a loss per share as compared to the expected minus 0.08 cents loss per share. They came in at minus 23 cents. That has to be punished a little bit. And also in terms of revenue, they were expected to post a revenue of 25.345 million, and they came in at 18.04 million, which is around 28.82% below expectations. So they are going to be punished quite a bit, and I would think that they should come all the way down to somewhere around 9.79 or somewhere around 10.67 in the next few days, so that they can resume their way upward. They are still on a bullish channel in my opinion, but they need to give up some of the gains because they are overheated right now. That brings me to the end of this video here today. I have changed the format a bit. I'm going to put more time on the technical analysis and less on the news. Potentially, I'm thinking of putting news as a ticker or something on the screen, which will keep on changing so that I don't have to talk about the news item unless there is something special I want to mention about it, and focus more on the technical analysis because we have discontinued the end of day live stream. So that's what we have here. Please give me your feedback below and let me know if you want me to continue with the live stream, if you want me to get back into the daily update format that we had before, or if you like what I'm doing here right now. With that said, I would like you to put a thumbs up out there in case you like this video. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.